Welcome to Conceptual Biostudy. My dear students, if you like my video, please subscribe it and share it with your friends and others. Thank you all. Dear students, today we will study about Bryophyta, that is second division under plant kingdom. Okay. The term Bryophyta is coined by Robert Brown. Study of Bryophyta is called biology. Father of biology is Hedwig, and father of Indian biology is Professor Shivram Kashyap. Special features about Bryophyta. Number 1, these are amphibian of the plant kingdom. It is first land plant. It is first embryophyta. That is, in Thallophyta we already discussed there is no embryo. Here first embryo developed. First archegonid. That is, here this archegonid, due to appearance of the female sex organ as archegonia, developed here first. So it is called first archegonid. Only group where gametophyte bear leaves. This is only group where no other groups, that is Thallophyta or Pteridophyta or Gymnosperm, Angiosperm, never gametophyte is found where they bear leaves. Only this group, the gametophyte bear leaves. All are homosporous. That is, in sporangia, one type of spores are formed. No exception is here. Gradual reduction of fertile tissue in sporophyte. That is, if we study different genera, that is Rhizoma, Mercantia, Pellia, Porella, Nodothyllus, Sphagnum, Polytrichum. The primitive type of sporophyte is Rhizoma, and most advanced type of sporophyte is found in Polytrichum. That is, where in Rhizoma the sporophyte consists of only globose capsule. There is no sterile tissue, completely fertile tissue. But gradually develops. Look here, this is the Mercantia, where foot, seta and capsule. When we study the sporophyte, we see that it consists of foot, seta and capsule. And these foot, seta are sterile, and capsule is only fertile. But when we study the sporophyte of, look here, sporophyte of Bryophyta group, that is, look here, like quinoria, foot, seta and capsule, foot, seta and most part of the capsule also sterile. So ultimately fertile tissue becomes reduced, and you know, when we study Gymnosperm and Angiosperm, there we see that the gametophyte is restricted, very much reduced. Gametophyte consisting of, male gametophyte consists of pollen tube containing one vegetative cell or tube nucleus and two male gamete. Next, they are next point, they are gregarious. They are gregarious in nature. They are gregarious plant. They are gregarious plant. Gregarious plant. Gregarious plant means gregarious plants means they grow in groups. They grow in groups. They grow in groups. They grow in groups. And you can recall in this context locust, which are gregarious pests under arthropoda, and if you also you can recall elephant, which is gregarious animal. Okay, and if we look at their origin, they actually arose from the chlorophyte ancestor 350 million years ago, and the modern Bryophyte arose in the tertiary period of Cenozoic era. Okay, these are the special characteristics and their origin. Now we study about about other characteristics, that is general features. Besides this, you should have an idea that the Bryophyte is a small group where the multicellular sporophyte, wholly or partially dependent on fully independent gametophyte. Like in case of Rhizoma, this is a very primitive, where sporophyte consists of only globose capsule and completely, look here, this is the Rhizoma thallus, and this is archegonia, and within the archegonia, when zygote is formed, this zygote is chiefly dependent on the gametophyte, that is wholly dependent. And in case of Mercansia and other groups, they are partially dependent, that is most of them, in most cases, they can carry out their photosynthesis due to having chlorophyll. Look here, this capsule, this lower part of capsule is called apophysis. Due to presence of chlorophyll, they can carry out photosynthesis. So they are semi-parasite on gametophyte. In evolutionary standpoint of view, they actually stand in between algae and pteridophyte. They stand in between algae and pteridophyte. Okay. Now we discuss about their general features or characteristics. Now, general characteristics or general features. General features or characteristics. Number one, about their habitat. Actually, they grow in damp, humid, and shady places. They grow in humid, cold and shady places on soil, old tree trunk or on moist wall. In groups as mats. So they are terrestrial. In habitat generally. They are terrestrial in habitat in general. But some are aquatic. Like Rhizoma fruitans, Rhiziocarpus natans, Some are saprophytic. Like spheres, Buxbaumia, Cryptothalus. Another one, Cryptothalus. Okay, these are saprophytic in nature. Number two, Bryophytes are known as amphibians. Number two, so though they grow in terrestrial habitat with few exceptions, but they require a film of water to carry out fertilization, and this is why they are called amphibians of the plant kingdom. And in this point, they are restricted in narrow geographical region like that of the pteridophyte. So as their spreading mechanism depends on water, so it is not possible to spread in wide region, so they are restricted to narrow region. Next point, about their vegetative body. about their vegetative body. Number 2 about their point vegetative body. First of all, their main plant body is gametophyte, obviously haploid in nature, and consists of thallus, like thallus, lower forms, example rixia, mercansia, notothylus, pelia, etc. Or leafy gametophore, found in higher forms, example pogonatum, funaria sphagnum. This leafy gametophore further consists of two parts, that is prostrate rhizomatous part, and erect leafy part. But actually this body from their early stage to mature state, they consist of two parts, that is juvenile stage and mature stage. Juvenile stage that consists of protonema, and mature stage consists of this leafy gametophore. Mature stage that is leafy gametophore, which further consists of prostrate rhizomatous part and erect leafy part. Look here, this is prostrate rhizomatous part and this is erect leafy part. Juvenile stage protonema. About protonema is a filamentous. Look here, this root filamentous, branched and chlorophyllous. Chlorophyll bearing filamentous part. This bears some colorless branched tubular part from the ventral surface. These are multicellular colorless ventral surface. These are called rhizonema, and some of these rhizonema actually acts as rhizoid, which helps them to anchor the protonema with the substratum, and also to absorb nutrients and water from the soil. And on the dorsal surface they produce bud, and this bud ultimately produce the leafy gametophore part. Okay, and this protonema may be primary in nature or may be secondary in nature. This protonema may be primary or secondary. Primary protonema develops from the spore. This is the spore. This is spores, and secondary protonema may arise from the other part of the body other than spore. And about thallus, where Rixia, etc. These are Rixia. Look here, you can see it on the ground in this pattern. Looks like petals of rose arranged in a circular way. And if we study the Rixia, then it is dichotomous thallus-like structure, and the thallus is dichotomously branched part and very thin fleshy structure, and on the upper surface there you can see a groove that is like our pancreas, this group, and this group is called midrib. This group is called midrib. And if you see the ventral surface, you can see along the midrib there arise some filamentous thread-like structure which is called rhizoid. And on the margin you can see also some multicellular scale. This is multicellular scale which is purple bluish color, and which helps to absorb water from the environment to keep it moistened during dry season. And rhizoid helps it to anchor the thallus with the substratum and to absorb water and mineral from the soil. And about their rhizoid, these rhizoid are unicellular. These rhizoid is unicellular in case of Riccia. Okay, Riccia. And in case of Mertensia also rhizoids are unicellular tubular, but they are tuberculated. Look here, the inner lining forms a finger-like structure inside it. This is called tuberculated rhizoid, but they are unicellular. Both the Mertensia and Riccia are unicellular. But if we study the rhizoids of higher Bryophyta, that is Filinaria, Spogodatum, etc., you can see that they are multicellular with oblique septa. Look here, this is multicellular rhizoid. This is multicellular with oblique septa. Oblique septa just like obliquely. The septa is obliquely placed. Okay, obliquely placed. This is multicellular rhizoid in higher Bryophyta. Okay, this is the vegetative body. Okay, now we discuss about the vascular tissue. Vascular tissue. Vascular tissue, number 3, vascular tissue or conducting tissue. Vascular tissue or conducting tissue. Vascular tissue or conducting tissue. Conducting tissue. They are absent. They are they are absent. But in Moses capsule, there is found a sterile column of tissue called columella. This columella term you also found in mucor, in sporangium, the globose part, which is called columella. It is sterile tissue, and this columella indicates precursor of the xylem and phloem, that is conducting tissue. It is the precursor of conducting tissue. Okay, conducting tissue. Precursor of conducting tissue. Now, that is no xylem and phloem. That is no xylem and phloem there. No xylem and phloem is found here. No xylem and phloem. Okay. Next point about the stem. True stem is absent. Next point 4. True stem is absent. Okay. Instead, in higher Bryophyta, so-called stem is called colloid. Syntaxic colloid or colloid, and leaf is about leaf. Just a minute before I told you that this is the only group that gametophyte bear leaves. This gametophyte means higher Bryophyte bear leaves. Look here, sphagnum also leaves, porella also called leafy graphite. This porella contains 2 rows of leaves. That is called leafy graphite. And leaf, about leaf is first leaf is uninerved. Uninerved means only one midrib. Only one midrib. This is leaf. This is leaf. This is leaf. And without leaf base, and this is midrib, but uninerved. Leaf is leaf, and they are spirally arranged with the stem-like structure, that is poly. And so leaf is called phyllid or phylloid. Phyllid or phylloid. Okay, this is about stem and leaf. Vegetative about their reproduction. Now discuss about their reproduction or reproduction. Look here, next point 5, reproduction. About reproduction. Reproduction accomplishes through 2 processes, that is vegetative and sexual. About vegetative reproduction accomplishes through number one, fragmentation. Number 2, tuber formation. Number 3, adventitious branch formation. Number 4, gamy formation. Okay. Number 4, gamy formation. About fragmentation, these accomplishes through cutting of some part of the thallus, and each thallus by mitotic division produce new thallus. About tuber, look here, tuber found in Rhizoma, Palea, etc. Look here, this is Rhizoma. Sorry, I have wiped the figure. Just do like this. This is tuber, which is found at the apex of the thallus. There are round portion, round fleshy portion, and it gets detached. And ultimately form new thallus. And about their adventitious branches, these small branches is produced small branches are produced on the margin of the thallus, and ultimately they get detached and form new thallus. About the gamy, this is a very important term, gamy. Gamy is commonly found in Mercansia. These gamy are formed is a special structure. This is called gamma cup or receptacle. This special structure is called gamma cup or receptacle. And here numerous 8-leg structure, 8 and stopped 8-leg structures are developed. Look like this, stopped 8-leg structures developed, and these are called gamy. Okay, these are called gamy. These gamy are, first of all, this is multicellular green. This is multicellular green, and capable of photosynthesis, and 8-cell structure. 8-cell and stopped. Look here, there is a stop here, and it by mitotic division, this mitotic division transversely in the constricted region. There is a constricted region and gets 2 daughter from each gamma from 2 daughter thallus. Okay, that is 2 Mercansia are developed. These gamete are arranged on the dorsal surface. Okay, dorsal surface. If we take a vertical section, this is the vertical section of Rhizoma, vertical section of Rhizoma, we can see there is two definite regions. So look here, the thallus may be differentiated as in Rhizoma mercantia or undifferentiated in notothallus as in under Anthoceropsida. Okay. This upper zone is called assimilated zone and lower zone is called storage zone. Upper zone consists of chlorine-like structure with cover cells and there is air chamber, and this indicates they arise from the chlorophyte ancestor, and their storage region bears sex organ, that is their sex organ, that is Anthralia and Archegonia, in the same thallus, that is monoecious thallus, or in different thallus, that is in dioecious species, etc. Okay, and these are about their reproduction. Look here, vegetative and sexual. No asexual reproduction is there. No asexual reproduction is there. It is a very important characteristic. No asexual reproduction, that is no mitospores is found here. No mitospores is found. No mitospores or asexual spores are found. No mitospores are found. No mitospores are found. Very important characteristics. And next about the sexual reproduction. Now about the sexual reproduction and sex organ. Now, 6 point about the sexual reproduction. Before discussing sexual reproduction, we should know about sex organ. Their sex organ, first of all, they are multicellular. First multicellular sex organ developed here. Multicellular with sterile jacket. So they are more protected than thallophyte, that is algae. Okay, male sex organ is called and female sex organ is called antheridia, and female sex organ archegonia. Okay, look here, this is the antheridia, and this is a multicellular structure, and this is sterile jacket, and it is stalked cluster structure developed within the antheridial chamber, and within the sterile jacket there exists the antheridial initial, obviously because gametophyte is from gametophytic tissue, they arise by mitotic division, and this antheridial initial further by mitotic division form comma shape. Look here, comma shape biflagellates sperm or anthrozoids. Okay, and about archegonia, these are flax-shaped structure and consists of two parts, that is neck. This part is neck. Okay, this part is neck. The upper narrow part is called neck. It is called neck, and this called and the swollen part is called venter, which is also stalked, and this is also covered by sterile jacket, and it also develops in archegonial chamber, and the neck possesses these are 6 to 10 neck canal cell, and the venter possesses two cells. One is ventral canal cell, and the large egg or ovum, and there's about their sexual reproduction, process of sexual reproduction process is called oogamous. Process of sexual reproduction is oogamous type. Oogamous type, that is accomplishes between sperm and ovum, and the sperm is come out from bursting and threadia. This sperm by water current reach to the ovum, and during coming on the tip of the archegonia, there the neck canal cells get dissolved, and they also secrete glucose. This glucose also assists in attraction of the sperm. So sperms through water current move to the or reach to the ovum, and this journey of sperm to the ovum is called zooidogamy. Very important term, and this term is also found in algae, algal fungi, and will also found in pteridophyta. This zooidogamy is the transfer of sperm to the ovum or female gamete to the ovum through water is called zooidogamy. Mind it, there is another term is hyphonogamy, which we will study in gymnosperm and angiosperm. Hyphonogamy. Hyphonogamy means transfer of not sperm, male gamete, because due to lack of flagella, transfer of male gamete to the female gamete through siphon or tube. Here pollen tube. You know already in your previous syllabus I think you have studied. This is called hyphonogamy. So process is oogamous. It's advanced type of oogamous. If you can recall the sexual method in Thallophyta, that is algae, you can see that 3 types of sexual reproduction is there. That is isogamy, anisogamy, oogamous, and oogamous is most advanced, and this advanced type of sexual reproduction is found here. Now about their development of zygote, that is sporophyte. Their sporophytic body or development of sporophyte. Now discuss about their sporophytic body or development of sporophyte from zygote within the archegonia. So when zygote is formed, when male gamete, anthrozoid and ovum, these are both are in nature, and when they fuse, they form zygote. It is 2N diploid, and it is the first cell of the sporophytic body. So if we will study about the sporophytic body, this sporophytic body developed by mitotic division and development of the zygote. It consists of only capsule. As in found in Rhizoma, only capsule, and totally fertile. Just before I have told you. Number 2, it may consist of food and capsule. No seta, food and capsule. Sporophyte body may consist of capsule. In example, anthoceros under anthoceros. Okay, anthoceros, and it may be consist of food, seta and capsule. Food, seta and capsule. It is example Mercansia, lower Bryophyta, that is under hepatic obsida. Mercansia, Pogonatum, Polytrichum, Sphagnum, etc. Pogonatum under Bryopsida moss, Pogonatum, Sphagnum, etc. Look here, about their sporophytic body in moss, one thing must be remembered, that is a food, seta capsule. Over the capsule there is found a cap-like structure which is called calypter. Look here, This is N, haploid, but the other part, that is capsule, seta and foot, is twice N. Why it is haploid nature? Because it develops from ventral canal cell. Ventral canal cell does not get destroyed during their fertilization, and this remain active and it ultimately forms the calyptra. So when question is framed from the plody level, sometimes question is asked the nature of plody level of calyptra, then you will have to say that is N in nature. It is exceptional part. So this is that about their sporophytic body, and next point about their life cycle. About their life cycle, you know, already I have discussed in previous class that they show haplodiploidic life cycle. They show haplodiploidic type life cycle. Haplodiploidic type life cycle. Diploidic type life cycle. This means the haploid stage is prolonged. This stage is prolonged, and this is completely short-lived. The haploid stage, that is gametophyte stage. This is gametophytic stage. This is gametophyte stage. This is sporophyte stage. Diploidic, it is sporophyte stage. Look here. Here gametophyte is independent because due to presence of chlorophyll and due to presence of rhizoid, they are able to synthesize food and don't depend on other one. But sporophyte, it may be completely dependent on gametophyte, completely or incomplete. Completely dependent on gametophyte in Mertensia and Rixia. But about Anthoceros just have then Hepaticopsida, which depends partially, because Anthoceros, look, this is Anthoceros. Under Anthoceros, and Anthoceros, just a minute, is a foot and capsule. Anthoceros, seta absent. This is capsule. This capsule is horn-like structure, and due to presence of in seta absent, instead there exists the meristematic tissue, and due to fast growing of this meristematic tissue, the capsule elongates so fast, like the horn of animal, so they are called hornwarts. Okay. Now we discuss about classification of Bryophyta. Already I have discussed everything. So just to get an short idea about their different groups, we should study the classification of Bryophyta. Okay. Now discuss about the classification of Bryophyta is divided into three classes. Number one, Hepaticopsida. These are Hepaticopsida, Anthoceropsida, and Bryopsida or musky. Hepaticopsida commonly called liverworts. These are called hornworts due to presence of horn-like growth of sporophyte, that is sporophyte body, hornworts. These are commonly called moss. Okay, this sphagnum, this is also under moss. Liverworts. Now, if we study the Hepaticopsida, about first Hepaticopsida, first the vegetative body, just in brief idea, vegetative already discussed, vegetative body, thallus-like. Already I have discussed about thallus, so we do not further read over it. Number two, there are 6 organ, Antheria and Archegonia. Sex organ Antheria male and Archegonia female. Look here, Archegonia female. In this Antheria and Archegonia are embedded in the storage region of the thallus. Embedded in the thallus, maybe embedded within the thallus, maybe in Rhizia, as in Rhizia, within the thallus, in same species or different species. That is, same species, same thallus, same or different thallus. Same in monoecious species, and or different thallus that is in dioecious species. Okay. Then it may be that thallus different, that is dioecious species, or Antheria and Archegonia may develop on special structure. Look here, this is special structure antheridophore or archegoniophore. Antheridophore or archegoniophore. This Archegonia, it is archegoniophore. Special structure archegoniophore. Look here, this is archegoniophore. This is female thallus. So these are the group of Archegonia developed on a special structure archegoniophore, and these are group of Antheria arise on a special structure, that is antheridophore, or maybe embedded within the thallus. In Rhizia, example, embedded in the thallus, example Rhizia pelea. It's a Rhizia pelea. Our special structure, it is example Antheridia, Markensia. Okay, Markensia. These are sex organ, and sexual reproduction is oogamous. Already discussed. Sexual reproduction oogamous. Sexual reproduction oogamous. And about their sporophytic body, already discussed. Sporophytic body, maybe globose capsule or fruit-seta capsule. Only capsule or fruit-seta capsule. But this capsule, in case of this capsule Rhizia, where amphithecium, two structure in the capsule, that is outer structure is amphithecium and inner structure is endothecium. Amphithecium form wall of the capsule, and endothecium form only spores. But here capsule where Markensia, this is Markensia fruit-seta capsule. In case of Markensia capsule, amphithecium form wall of the capsule, and endothecium form 50% spore mother cell, 50% SMC spore mother cell, and other 50% produce nurse cells. Both are diploid in nature. The SMC here, spore mother cell, both cases spore mother cell. This endothecium for spores actually initially from spore mother cell, which spore mother cell undergo meiosis, that is reduction division, and produce spores. But in case of nurse cells, the nurse cells which are also diploid in nature, produce elaters, produce a special structure, elaters obviously twice in, and these elaters are in spiral structure with thickening, with spiral band of thickening, two spiral band. This look like this spiral band, and these are called elaters. These are called elaters, which being hygroscopic in nature, they help in spore dispersal. Okay, this and they show haplodiplobiotic life cycle. Okay, so these are under hepatic oxida. Now discuss about anthoceropsida in brief. Anthoceropsida. Anthoceropsida. Here, first vegetative body. About their vegetative body, they are thallus-like. They are thallus-like. Already discussed thallus. Number 2, they are sex organ. Sex organ. Sex organ also antheridia and archegonia. Also antheridia and archegonia. Antheridia and archegonia. And archegonia. But about the thallus, no differentiation in assimilated zone and storage zone like that of the hepatic oxida. No differentiation internally. No differentiation internally. And here each cell contains special character. Each cell contain one chloroplast. Each cell contain one chloroplast. One chloroplast with one pyrenoid like algae, and especially one chloroplast, one pyrenoid as in chlamydomonas. So this also indicates they arise from the chlorophyton ancestor with one pyrenoid. You know that pyrenoid is the proteinaceous protein particle encapsulated starch pyrenoid, one pyrenoid. Okay, this is the thallus structure, sex organ like that of the other ones. And about sexual reproduction, oogamous, and about their sporophyte world. Sporophyte already discussed. Sporophyte only food and capsule. Only food and capsule. Okay, no seta. Special character, no seta. Instead, meristematic tissue there. Meristematic tissue, which helps elongation of capsule. Which helps in elongation of capsule. Like horn of animal. So they are called horn of animal. So they are called hornworts, horn of animal. Okay, and about the capsule, you know that capsule consists of two parts, that is amphithesion and endothelium. Like other ones, amphithesion, that's the outer part, amphithesion, and this is endothelium. Amphithesion produce spores. Amphithesion produce wall and spores. Look here, spore, wall and spores, unlike hepatic oxida. Spores, but endothelium produce elaters. These elaters is called pseudo-elaters. That is not cells twice n. This is called pseudo-elaters. Pseudo-elaters, because there is no spiral thickening. This is spiral structure, but there is no thickening. So these are the pseudo-elater. They also help in spore dispersal. So these are about anthoceropsida. Now we discuss about Bryophyta. Bryophyta or musty, or commonly called moss. Number 1, about the vegetative body already discussed. That is consists of two parts. That is juvenile phase protonema and mature stage protonema or juvenile stage, and mature stage, that is gametophore, mature stage or gametophore, okay. No need to further discussion. Next, about their sex organ, just like the other one, sex organ, that is Antheridia and Archegonia, Antheridia and Archegonia. About their reproduction, Ugamus type, always Ugamus type. But here you should remember that in all cases the sporangia produce one type of spores, that is their homosporous in nature. Okay, homosporous. About the sporophyte body, twice M, and consists of food seta capsule. Food helps in food gets embedded with the gametopore, which helps to absorb food and water from the gametopore body. Food seta just hold the capsule in air. Food seta and capsule. About capsule is very specialized. This is capsule. Look like this. This is capsule, and this capsule it is called operculum, and this is calyptra, and in this lower portion is apophysis, and they bear the stomata. And their middle region consists of a sterile tissue, which is called columella, sterile tissue. Already discussed. Columella, sterile tissue, and between the this is the theca, and between the column there are present two sporangial sac. This is the sporangial sac. This is the sporangial sac from sporogenous tissue. This is called sporogenous tissue. So, and this is operculum. And below operculum there is two rows of teeth like structure, 16 in each row, and this is outer one, this is inner one. Outer teeth, this is called peristome teeth. This is called peristome teeth, being hygroscopic in nature, helps in spore dispersal. And this is calyptra, which is haploid in nature, and the in between the sporogenous tissue and this is conducting tissue. There the other tissue may contain chlorophyll, and due to presence of stomata, they are photosynthetic, but for absorption of water and minerals and for sheltering they depend on gametophyte, so they are partially or semi-parasite. Okay, and this capsule, the endothelium and epithelium, outer part is epithelium, and inner part endothelium, epithelium from the wall of the capsule, endothelium for spore mother cell, which by meiotic division produce spores. Okay, this produce spores. So here no nerve cells or ureters, because another more advanced mechanism, peristome teeth is developed. This peristome teeth by hygroscopic movement, when sporangial sac burst, the spores come out, and spores on coming in contact with the soil, they germinate and produce protonema, that is juvenile stage, and protonema, the protonema develops bud. This bud by mitotic division produce another thallus. Under this group, the funaria, the common member funaria, this is funaria, this is sphagnum, this is antheridial branch, this is archegonal branch, this is normal branch. Funaria, common example, funaria, sphagnum, most important, sphagnum, pogonetum, polytrichum, pogonetum, Ogonatum, Polytrichum, etc. These are under moss or Bryophyta. Now about their economic importance. The last topic, economic importance. About their economic importance. Economic importance. Number one, as food. Most of the Graphite, especially some moss, moss acts as edible or are eaten by most of the herbaceous animals, birds and other animals. Number two, packaging material, or number two, fuel, fossilized sphagnum. You know that the sphagnum like to grow in low pH, acidic soil, and when they get buried million years ago, they form coal that is called pit coal. Sphagnum or pit or bog moss or pit moss, pit coal, sphagnum or pit is used as fuel. Used as good fuel. Number three, about packaging material. As packaging material, being spongy in nature, they are not only being spongy but also hygroscopic. They are being spongy in nature. They are used in transecting earthenwares and glasswares. Being hygroscopic in nature, that is water absorbing properties high. Hygroscopic in nature, they are used by florists during transecting floral materials, and they are also used in nursery bed. They are also used in nursery bed, especially during seed germination, to keep the environment moist, especially during seed germination. Okay, so during seed germination, they are also used as substitute of cotton, substitute of absorbent cotton, especially in treatment treatment of patient, treatment of patients, patient. So these are called, so they are called cotton moss. So they are, these sponges are huge, in huge amount, were used in northern European country, especially during Second World War. So they are called cotton moss. They are called cotton moss. They are called cotton moss. Cotton moss. Cotton moss. And they are also used in prevention of soil erosion. They are also used in prevention of soil erosion, as prevention of soil erosion. Prevention of soil erosion. Soil erosion. Soil erosion. As they grow in groups as mats. So they prevent soil erosion from against rainfall. So they prevent soil erosion. They prevent soil erosion against rainfall. Okay. Last of all, they are the pioneer of soil formation or plant succession. They act as pioneer in plant succession on bare rock after lysine. Okay, after lysine. So these are all about Bryophyta. Okay, thank you all.